From our studios in Scottsdale, Arizona, this is Retirement News Online. As you approach or enter retirement, your relationship with money often becomes more emotional than logical. The psychology of money, how you think, feel, and behave around finances can significantly impact your decisions and your sense of security and long-term outcomes. Now, talking to your financial advisor about this can help you align your financial plan with both your goals and your mindset. And we have a financial advisor here right now. He's also a radio host in Seattle. He is the money professor, Mr. Chris Longworth. And I know you talk about the psychology of money on your radio show a lot. So talk about, you have to manage your clients' money unemotionally, right? It's hard for the, for the average person to do that, but talk about, how emotions can affect things.
That's a great topic, and good to be with you, Scott.
Yeah.
And most people don't realize the effect that money has on them from that internal standpoint of the psychology of money, how you feel about it, how you act with it, the things you do with, the reasons why you make the decisions that you make. Mm-hmm. And then there's always that one that everyone is always dreaded about, is the buying decision that went wrong. You went out and bought something with that emotional charge of, God, that looks great, I gotta have, the neighbor bought one, I need, whatever that drive was, you went out and bought something, and then you had the buyer's remorse. You got it home and you're looking at it, and it's, what did I do that? What the heck did I just do? Mm-hmm. And that psychology really does play out all too often in our society. It's one of the passions that we have with the Financial Education Group, is education truly is the key to financial planning success. It is the one sole piece that you can remove the emotional component, completely remove the emotional, get to just logic and strategy. Mm-hmm. Just simple strategy, simple logic, and you get a much different result than having that emotional content driving that decision.
Yeah, and I'm sure you run into people who are do-it-yourselfers a lot too, and there's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of people are doing most of the things right. But I've always said, when you're working with a financial advisor, if the way that you can do this yourself is if you have the 3 T's. You have the time to manage this on a daily basis, which is what you do.
Exactly.
You have the temperament to do it unemotionally, and then you also have the training to back it up. So when I talk about training and the fact that you're an independent advisor, which means you have access to a universe of solutions, talk about some of the strategies that you use to help your clients become more confident, more secure in what their plans are.
Scott, that's the big advantage that we bring to the table, is that I am a nationally certified financial education instructor. I approach it from the simple academic point of view of what is the correct structure, what is the proper sequence of events that must play out. It's not emotional in any way. It's a logical, step-by-step organization of actions that must take place to produce a very specific result. And so when it comes to financial planning, and especially for retirement income purposes, that emotional component can really trip you up in that organization, making sure that all things are structured, positioned properly, you're in the right mode, so to speak, and then you get a much better result from your efforts. And that can translate into much more monthly or yearly income that comes to you, and it can be extremely tax advantaged if you do it correctly, or you will be paying extra taxes if you don't.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to note this too. Chris works, his office is in northern Washington. You have an amazing tan for somebody who doesn't see the sun. I want to ask you this. So back in April, we saw the markets do some interesting things. We saw one day where it dumped 3,000 points. So how do you, when you have a client, even though they're working with you, they're like, how do you prevent panic selling and impulsive decisions? How do you work with them? Because this is psychology.
It is, and that's where we apply the psychology of money techniques through using smart money management skills. And that's what gives the client the ability to actually learn some new things that they can employ themselves. Teach them how to think differently about their money. Give them the skill set and the tools to actually make better decisions instead of flipping the coin and hoping they made the right one. Well, that's not the way we approach it. The academic approach is we have a certain series of steps that we're going to take. If we follow those rules and we follow those recommendations, we just simply get a much better result for folks. And I always like to come down to this. If you plan well and you plan correctly, You get to enjoy every day of your retirement life as if it's a Saturday. And if you don't, you're going to live a Monday for the rest of your life. Now think about it in those terms, because the psychology of money is right there in that statement. That truly is, when I make that statement to most of my clients, they feel something immediately. Everybody loves the Saturday effect. If you don't have the skill set to help somebody get there, then you are literally just the salesman selling things. And in my world, the salesman sells things so he can make a buck. Well, we like to teach things to people so that they can make better, smarter decisions about what to do with their money. It's a whole different environment.
Yeah. He's an advisor, he's a radio host, and apparently a therapist. It's Chris Longworth in Anacortes, Washington, but he really serves the whole state of Washington and the Northwest. And this is Retirement News Online. Thanks for watching.